Hello, and welcome back to The Good, the Bad, and the Poorly Written. If you're new here, my name's Luke. I'm a writer, director, and film editor. And in this series, we're taking a look at my first feature screenplay and trying to make it a bit better. The script, titled Crime at 6,200 Feet, is a neo-noir about a ski bum living in South Lake Tahoe who attempts to investigate a crime. I wrote it when I was a ski bum living in South Lake Tahoe. In the last episode, we followed Sam and Hammett as they went snowboarding, and Sam interrogated his first suspect. In today's episode, we're looking at scenes 30 and 31, where Sam gets some more intel and finds his next person of interest. Keep a close eye out because there's a small but significant problem throughout these pages. I'm going to highlight examples as I read, then at the end of the video, circle back and tell you why it's important to avoid this mistake. But first, let's get into it. Scene 30, exterior, night, bus stop. Sam paces back and forth, waiting for the bus. There are a couple other people milling about. A light snow begins to fall. Burying his hands in his pockets, Sam stops. He pulls out his notebook. He flips it open and turns to the last page with writing. In it is written,
Sam, what's up? Thanks for the slice, dog. Here's what I know. Cole, you met him. Works at Total Video. Andrew, ripping skier. Delivers pizzas. Jenny, cute young brunette, works at Mountain High Coffee Shop. Brent, kind of an ass. Waiter, seen Jenny, I think. Andrea, Charlie's girlfriend, works with me. Don't know about the others. Ham.
Sam flips the book closed and tucks it away. Sam to himself.
Well, that's a start.
The bus arrives and Sam gets on. As he boards, several young Mexican men exit the rear door. One of them is Jose. Cut to montage. Sam is talking to various people about the case. We see him talking to a pizza delivery driver, Andrew. Then to a girl, Andrea. Perhaps he crosses names off in book. Sam rides the chairlift with telly hippie Mike. And finally, at the coffee shop with Sarah. End montage. Cut to... This isn't too bad. I like the near miss with Jose, and it actually makes sense to have a montage for an investigation. But if you're going to do a montage like this, you need to slug it as its own scene, or perhaps even a series of scenes, because this montage contains bits from multiple locations. It's really important for production, because if you leave those out, you risk not accounting for additional scenes. Aside from that issue, most of the changes I want to make are just to pull this into line with the edits I've already made. Comparing this original scene to our current draft, there's a number of characters listed that don't exist anywhere except for this montage. So I think it's safe to say that we can delete them entirely from the script and instead focus on the characters that play a bigger role. Here's the revised version. Scene 30, exterior, bus stop, night. Snow falls down from the darkened night sky and into the amber glow of a street lamp. At the bus stop, we find several people, including Sam. He's pacing back and forth as he reads his notebook. In it, we see...
What's up, Sam? Here's what I know. Cole, you met him at the Wood. Works at Total Video. Nate, hangs with Cole. Don't think he has a job. Jenny, cute brunette, works at Mountain High Coffee. Brent, kinda waiter. Seen Jenny? Or was? Lil John, scary dude. Heard he was in jail in SoCal? I don't know. Might be bull. Ham.
Sam. Soto.
Well, that's a start.
The bus arrives. Sam tucks away the notebook and boards. At the same time, several young Mexican men exit the rear door. We don't know it yet, but one of them is Jose. Cut to... Now, I know I talk a lot about only including things in your script that you can visualize, and calling out Jose's name here is not something you can visualize. You'd have to have a character be like, hey, Jose, let's get off. This is our stop, which would be awful. Instead, what this is an aside to the reader. You're cluing them in on something that they shouldn't know based on watching the movie, but they will know later. I think it's totally okay to do asides to the reader, but they should be done sparingly. Think of it like a spice. You don't want to completely overdo it. All right, let's keep going. I toyed around with writing a new investigation scene to replace the montage, but ultimately decided against it because none of these characters lead anywhere in the story. So if I wrote a new scene, it would also not go anywhere. Or I would have to do a ripple effect throughout the script and introduce an entire new plot line, which I don't really want to do, at least right now. Let's keep going with the next section from the original. Scene 31, interior, mountain high coffee shop, day. Sam is sitting at a small table with Sarah, 24, hippie type. Sam is drinking coffee and has his notebook open on the table in front of it. Sarah is drinking an herbal tea and is growing restless. Sam, noticing her restlessness.
Well, I think that is it. Thanks for your help.
He closes his notebook, leans back in his chair, and smiles. Sarah, getting up.
Thanks for the tea.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Sarah grabs her jacket and busses her mug. Sam looks after her for a moment, then leans forward and flips open his notebook. Frowning, he taps it with his pen.
Still writing?
What? Oh, yeah. Hi.
Hi.
I didn't think you were working today.
You keeping tabs on me?
Well, no, it's just that I didn't see you when I got here, and I noticed you weren't behind the counter, so...
I'm only teasing you.
Sam smiles, a little embarrassed.
So, are you or aren't you?
Sam isn't sure what she means.
Writing? In your book?
She motions with her hand at his open notebook.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I was, a little scattered there.
So, what are you writing? A ski town crime novel?
Actually, I probably shouldn't talk about it.
Sam closes his book and looks down. She bites her lower lip and then smiles and leans over the table towards Sam. Sam looks up at her smiling face and the newly visible cleavage in front of him.
Well, I'm looking for some people who might know about a crime.
Ooh, interesting. Who are you looking for now, and what did they do?
Well, they didn't do anything, at least I don't think they did. And the girl, you must know her. She works here. She's just a witness.
What's her name?
Jenny.
That's me.
Sam doesn't miss a beat in spite of himself. Sam, opening his notebook.
So I have a few questions to ask you.
I have to go. I'm late for an appointment.
When can I talk to you?
Jenny, leaving.
I'll be at Lakeside tonight. You should stop by. We can talk then.
Okay.
Sam watches a little helplessly as Jenny walks out of the cafe. Only a couple steps out of the door, she suddenly turns around. She walks back, opens the door, and leans in.
What's your name?
Sam.
See you tonight, Sam.
Yeah, bye.
Sam watches Jenny jog over to a small foreign car and drives away. Then he opens his pad and writes a quick note. Cut to... This scene starts with one of those superfluous characters, Sarah. We never see her again, so I'm going to cut good old superfluous Sarah completely out of the script. You probably notice there's a lot of problems with parentheticals. Many of these should actually be written as action instead because they don't affect how the line is said. Aside from that, I honestly don't have much in the way of big notes. I think it's a cute interaction and it has some playful banter. If I had to pick out one bit to really critique, it would be this. Sam watches a little helplessly as Jenny walks out of the door. Only a couple steps out of the door, she suddenly turns around. She walks back in, opens the door, and leans in. While it's only 3-ish lines of action, it would take way too long on screen. Jenny starts at Sam's table, walks away through the cafe, outside, walks a little bit, then turns around and comes back inside the cafe. Maybe if you had his table right next to the door, you could make this work. But why bother when you can accomplish the same story beat by having her turn around still inside the cafe? And with that, here's the revised version. Scene 31, interior mountain high coffee shop, day. Sam is sitting at a small table looking at his notebook. Frowning, he writes a quick note, then pauses to take a drink of coffee.
Still writing?
Sam looks over his shoulder with a start.
Oh, hey, I didn't think you were working today.
You keeping tabs on me?
What? No, it's just that I looked for you when I got here and I didn't notice you behind the counter, so...
I'm only teasing you.
Sam smiles, a little embarrassed.
Oh, right. Sorry, my mind is like a million places today.
So what are you writing? A crime novel? Maybe one set in a small town?
I probably shouldn't talk about it.
The coffee shop girl sits down and scoots her chair closer to him. Leaning forward on one elbow, she bites her lower lip and smiles.
Not even a hint?
Well, I'm looking for some people who might know about a crime.
Interesting. Are they suspects?
I don't know yet. Maybe. I'm actually looking for one of your coworkers.
What's your name?
Jenny.
That's me.
You're kidding. That's great. While I've got you...
Jenny stands abruptly, interrupting Sam.
Actually, I have to go. I'm late for something.
Okay. Another time? Tomorrow, maybe?
She heads for the door.
I'll be at Lakeside tonight. You should stop by. We can talk then.
All right.
Before she gets too far, Jenny stops and turns back.
What's your name, anyways?
Sam.
See you tonight, Sam.
Yeah. Bye.
Sam watches as Jenny leaves the coffee shop and jogs over to a small Japanese car. Opening the notebook, he writes a quick note. Cut to. Now, I want to circle back to the mistake I mentioned at the beginning of the video. It's a stylistic thing, and I know it's a little nitpicky, but I really, really dislike runts. And no, I'm not talking about the smallest kitten in the litter. I'm talking about these. Runt, a single word that appears alone on the last line of a paragraph. Similar to widows and orphans when the last line or first line of a paragraph is split between pages. I think I first got picky about runts when I was making my book Found in Kitsap. I did a rough layout of all of the poems and stories, then passed it off to my designer. When she gave it back to me, she mentioned that she tweaked many of them to get rid of these. At the time, I didn't even know to look out for them. And now I can't help but see them, even in other people's scripts. Aside from just looking better without them, eliminating runts, widows, and orphans from your scripts has some real tangible benefits. First, you can make your script shorter. And if you suffer from long first draftitis like I do, anywhere you can claw back some space, you're gonna wanna get. But more importantly, it forces you to rewrite your action and dialogue to use less characters. And I don't mean characters like Sam and Jenny are characters. I mean characters like the actual letters and spaces. It makes you write more efficiently, and that creates a crisper, cleaner, and easier to read script. By eliminating the 7 runts that were in here, we made this section 7 lines shorter. Now, that may not seem like a lot, but this was only 4 pages. Multiply that by 25, and you end up saving almost 3 pages. And you don't have to eliminate any of your jokes or subplots or montages. You just have to write more efficiently. And that'll be a wrap on today's episode. As always, if you want to compare and contrast, I've uploaded a side-by-side PDF, link in the description down below. Next time, we'll be following Sam as he meets up with Jenny. Is it an interrogation, a date, or maybe a bit of both? Until then, be good and write well.